I'm going to be showing us how to create a pattern for a shirt collar. Okay, so if you have not watched my video how I created this placket, I'll be putting the link down in the description box so that you can go and check out that video how I created this neck placket. So the first thing you want to do when you want to create a shirt pattern, I'm going to be showing us two-piece, okay, two-piece shirt pattern today. Two-piece shirt pattern. Okay, so the first thing we want to be doing today is for you to take your tape measure. You are going to measure around your neckline. Okay, you are going to take your tape measure to measure around your neckline, and bearing in mind that when you are making a shirt, your back neckline should be 1 inch deep, and your neck wideness should be 2.5 or 3 inches. Okay, so your front neck depth should not exceed 3 inches. Okay, the depth 3 inches or 2.5 for the front, and neck wideness 2.5, and neck depth for the back is 1 inch. Okay, so let me write it out. So we have 2.5 by 3 inches. So for the front we have 1 by 3 inches. Okay, so this is exactly how your neckline should be. 2.5 by 3 inches for the front. For the back, 1 by 3 inches. Okay, so the first thing you want to do, you want to take your tape measure. You want to measure around your neckline when you are finished sewing. When you are making a collar is always the last thing that you create. Okay, so I'm just taking my tape measure to measure around my neckline to see what I have. See, I have exactly 18 inches. Okay, so good. Like I said before, we have the collar stand and the collar form. So my collar stand is going to be the same inches as 18 inches, and the measurement for this collar stand is usually 1.5 or 1.25. Okay, don't allow your collar stand to exceed 1.5. That's the standard measurement. So here is my 18 inches. I'm just going to rule a straight line across that. Oops, let me just bring out the wideness that we need. Okay, so I'll take my scissors, I'll cut this out. So this is my collar stand. Okay, so I'll call this my collar stand. Remember, my neck wideness is 18 inches, so this is also 18 inches wide right now. Okay, and I'm going to fold this into 2 equal halves like so to find the midline. So I'm folding this into 2 equal halves so I can find the midline. So now open that up, I'll make a straight line on that midpoint. So now I'm going to share this other part into 3 equal sections. So I should have like 9 inches here. 9, I have 3, I have 6. Okay, you have to share this part into 3 equal sections. You do the same for the other side. Okay, so I have 3 here, I have another 3. So I hope you guys are following what I'm doing. Okay, this line is my midline. Okay, it's my midpoint. Let me thicken it. So that automatically is known as my center back. Okay, that midline is automatically known as my CB, which is my center back. So after getting my midpoint, I share this other part into 3 equal sections. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my marker pen from the top. I'm going to give it a nice curve. Okay, just be creative. I'm going to give it a nice curve like so. So I'll do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to give it a nice slopey curve. Okay, like so. So I'll fold out my pattern so I can cut out the two curves at the same time. Okay, so you should have something like this. Okay, after cutting out the curve on both sides, you should have something like this. So the next thing I want to do now, after creating that curve shape on the side, I want to start slashing my pattern from the upper part, which is where the curve is. Then I'll flip this over like so. I'll start slashing. Okay, and you are not going to slash the midline. Okay, don't forget that. I'm just going to slash all those lines that I shared into 3 equal parts. I'm going to slash those lines like so. So I'm not slashing the center line. Okay, so that is what I'll do. I'll slash those lines. Can you see they are all open now? So the next thing I want to do is to lap them up by 0.25 inches. So after slashing, I'm going to take my tape. I'm going to be using a clear tape to lap it up slightly. Okay, so I'm just going to start lapping by 0.25 inches. Okay, so I'll do this, then I'll tape it down. Okay, so I'll just continue the same process. 0.25 inches. So I'll do this 0.25. Cut. Come over here, 0.25. Put on my tape. Remember, we are doing this at the upper part, okay, not at the bottom that you are going to be joining to your garment. So I also lap this 0.25, and I will tape it down. So you can see what I have now. My collar shape has changed. It's now curved. Okay, it's no longer straight, it's now curved. So it's very important you do this process to give your collar a really nice and distinctive shape. Okay, so slashing and lapping, not spreading. I slashed and I closed it up with 0.25. So now we're done with the collar stand. So the next thing we're going to be working with is the collar fall. Okay, the collar fall, and I'll bring my paper here. So, and the collar stand should be 2 inches longer than the collar fall. So now that my collar stand should stay at 18 inches, okay? So I have 18 inches here. So my collar fall should stay at 16 inches. So I'm going to be measuring 16 inches around here. So I'm going to measure 16 inches, which is 16. So then I'm going to be adding 3 inches to that measurement, okay? You will understand why I'm doing that. So I have to rule that out. Then I'm going to measure my length. I want it to stay at 3 inches, okay? So I'll measure my length, 3 inches long, 3 inches by 16. So then I'm going to just cut this out slightly. So this is my collar fall and this is my collar stand. Then I'll also fold these two into 2 equal half, like so. I'll fold it into 2 equal half. So because I want 8, I want it to stay at 16, which is 8. So I'm going to come here and mark down my 8 inches, okay? So I'm going to mark down my 8 inches. And I'll rule a line, okay? So from that point, I'm going to take a nice curve down like so. not a curve anyways, a slant. I'm going to take a nice slant. Can you see? So I'm slanting that out like so. Then I'm going to take my scissors, then I'm going to cut that out. So 3 inches is fine though, not 2 inches. You can add 3 inches. After bringing out your rightful measurement, then you now add 3 inches to it, okay? So now I have my collar fall, and this is what I would have like so at the end of the day. So what I always like to do, I always like to give it a curve around that part, okay? So I'm going to give it a curve around this pointy part. So I'm going to take my marker pen. I'm going to bring in 0.5 inches, okay? I'm going to go in by 0.5. Then I can just use my hands to freehand it, okay? Or I can use my ruler as well to give it a nice curve. So this makes your collar to relax nicely around your neck area. So now, and it also makes it more beautiful though. So I'm just going to follow out this curve like so, and I'll cut it out. Okay. So I have a nice curve around here. So I'm just going to open this up, and this is what I have, okay? So I'll call this collar fall, okay? So this is my collar fall, and this is my collar stand. So my 2 patterns are ready, and I'm going to be cutting 2 of these. Cut 2, and remember there's no sewing allowance added to my pattern. I'm also going to be cutting 2 of this on my fabric, okay? So this is collar fall, this is collar stand. Remember, my collar stand is going to be the same measurement with my neckline in my garment. I'm going to be sewing it. Then this one will be 2 inches shorter than this one. So this one should stay at 18, while this should stay at 16 inches, okay? The collar fall is usually 2 inches shorter than the collar stand. You guys will understand why I'm doing that later. So I'm going to bring my fabric now, then we can cut.